Coach, I've already seen T-shirts on social media with "Bring Your Own Guts" on the shirts and stuff. Did you get a chance to notice over the last few days that phrase kind of caught on not only with your fan base but nationally?
Yeah, because they're all my friends, texting me hashtag BYOG or whatever. It's just so stupid. I mean, I'm really not that interesting. I'm really not. My wife would be the first one to tell you that. It just is kind of weird to me that, something that you just say, somebody, but that's great, whatever. But that's what I told the team. I mean, that was the message for the game, This is, we give you all these things. We give you scholarships and all this stuff, but we can't give you guts, man. Can't give you heart. I mean, you guys got to bring that on your own. I mean, that's just the way it is. And this is a big boy game. And, there was a lot of challenges, and there's going to be challenges this week, and that's just the way this game is. That's why football players are in all shapes and sizes. I mean, you got little bitty guys that don't look like they could play a lick, but they're the baddest guy in between the lines. That's what I told Adam Humphries when I said, Adam, you ain't going to make the team at the combine. Quit worrying about that. They ain't inviting you to the combine. But when you get between them lines, those coaches, they'll recognize heart and guts and toughness and competitiveness and will to win and will to prepare and intelligence. All right? They'll recognize that. And those are the things that, we can't give that to them. And that was just, so, that's all it was. You got to bring your own.
Did you ever hear somebody use that phrase?
No, I just was what I told them. And the BYOG just came in my head. There was probably a lot of people bring your own beer that night, too. There was probably a lot of beer being drunk in the parking lots.
That came to you while you were doing that interview? Or
the BYOG? Yeah. I mean, that's just what I thought of. Yeah. I mean, I didn't. BYOG.
That wasn't pre-planned.
No.
See, I figured that was part of your pregame, or at least or maybe even your halftime.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Oh no, it was. I did tell them you got to bring your own guts. That's what I said. You got to bring your own guts. Bring your own heart. That's it. Have you ever been to our post game? It's insane out there. I don't even know how that gal found me on the field. It was crazy. I barely saw Brian Kelly. I mean, it was just nuts. But
Jeff kind of hinted yesterday, maybe Mike Williams is looking ahead to next season. Is there a report? Could he play by the end of the year? If there was
I have no idea. I'm just like y'all. Just waiting to hear anything. He goes back to the doctor Wednesday. That I know, and he's doing great. I know that. Talked to him last night. Hung out with him out at the practice field a little bit. Visited with him. Like I said, in his mind, he thinks he's going to play, but I have no idea, and he doesn't either. That's just how he thinks. He thinks he's going to play in the national championship game, catch the game-winning pass. But he'll be back at some point. I don't know when it is.
I apologize. You had 16 days off. Did you take maybe a couple of those days to maybe work on Georgia Tech?
No. We work on Georgia Tech all year. And we did have, like I said, we had 2 weeks of camp designated toward Wofford, which a lot of that carries over to Georgia Tech also. So we really felt like we had good preparation as far as what we had done in the spring, what we'd done in camp, because we work defensively. We work on those guys all year. We try to just coach the principles because it's very, very different from just, our base defense. But specifically working against Georgia Tech during the open date, we did not. We did do some work for future opponents, things that we need to go back and we do that all through camp. We kind of install for the season. We put it all in, and so kind of going back over a few things that we know are going to need, we did do.
When you think back to 08, 09, are y'all devoting more time through the year to Tech than you did early on?
Well, 08, I had 3 days. Yeah. Well, you got to remember, in 08, that was Paul Johnson's first game. at Georgia Tech against Clemson. I mean, they were just kind of a normal school as far as philosophy-wise, what you see week in, week out. But, yeah, I think everybody who plays Georgia Tech probably works on them throughout the year. There's no question. I mean, because if you don't want to wait until game week and say, all right, boys, let's get ready for this arc release right here, and how to play cut blocks and how to play with your hands and how to support from the perimeter and not stop and try to catch cut blocks and just fundamental stuff. You better not wait till game week to do that stuff. You're in for a rude awakening. I mean, it's just one of our core opponents, obviously, that we got to play every year. And the uniqueness of them kind of forces you to specifically make sure you're preparing certain things. Absolutely.
By the way, you appear to be rather non-lugubrious today.
Non-lugubrious. No, I am not lugubrious. I am, what's the word? I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm effervescent. Is that how you say it? And the story on that, just so you know, because I don't pay attention to that stuff. But J-Ron Curse sent me a text message, and I don't even know what show it was, but he sent me a text message, and he was hot, and he just said, we do a video of the day just about every day, and it can be anything from prison rodeo to crazy people at Walmart to, something inspirational and motivational to the best dunks in the NBA. It can be anything. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it can be anything on our video of the day. And then I try to figure out some way to pull something that I can use to kind of set the tempo for the day. And so he sent me a text saying that he just basically said, Coach, I want this to be the video of the day. I want the guys to see this. And I didn't even know what it was until I clicked on it. And I got a good laugh out of it because it was, all the experts, and with all their opinions. And I just, laugh at that stuff. But the team got a kick out of it. But the thing that was the funniest part to me was the guy who said we'd be lugubrious. And I had never heard that in my life. No clue what that meant. So I had Henry Guest look it up. That's why I didn't know how to spell it, because I didn't look it up. I had Henry look it up, and he told me what it meant to look sad and discontented or whatever, mournful or whatever. And so we had some fun with that. We had some fun with that in our little video of the day that day. And I promised the guys that if I had the opportunity, I would somehow find a way to use that in my post-game vocabulary.
And he did. Hey, going back to Lacob, did they ever settle the charges against him? What is his
Yeah, he did PI, what do you call it? PTI, and they, he dropped, all that stuff was dropped, and he handled all of his responsibility, and did all of his community service and all that type of stuff, and he's lucky to have an opportunity to finish out here. And, he's been a young man I've really never had a problem with. It was very kind of shocking, to be honest with you, dealing with that situation. But, I think that he's taken the right path and has grown from it. And hopefully he goes on and can finish out with a good senior year. And like I said, be one of those things that hopefully will become an asset for him moving down the road. He'll grow from it and not let it be a stumbling block the rest of his life.